So I'm documenting. We're getting it all together. There's Tim's here and Jack and Mary Lamb. There's Michael, Kat, and Nate. We'll keep the kids out with the doggies. And then Eric and Susie. There's a group, Billy Lojak over there. It's a whole group of people that have been watching this ministry for a long time. And so we just got the 2 containers lit up. We got everything cleaned up. Got the floors going. And this container represents the bride of Christ. And all these panels in here were supernaturally dictated on what to do, and they were all confirmed. That's New York, and that's the Statue of Liberty being covered by a tidal wave. And then a wall of flames back in the back. I'm still working on some of the lighting. And then there's the table. That's the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. And it's a rainbow. The lights in there turn to a rainbow. And let me show you something just amazing.
Okay.
There we are.
All right. Hold on to one.
We're at Rainbow Drive. Right there is Rainbow Drive. And there was no coordination in this. It just happened this way. The Lord's Prayer is a rainbow. You can see it. Turns to a rainbow. And there's a reflection in the chair and all these panels. That's the wages of sin is death. The free gift of God is eternal life. That's the QRST complex. That's the heartbeat of life, and it's going through a portal. And if I go like this, you'll see it just go in deep, 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 and then it'll looks like it comes out. And it'll go over this way, and everything will start changing. See how it all moves. And then the tree of life. There's Miss Cal. What's up, Cal?
Cool.
The tree of life. Still working on some of the lights, but there's the white sheepskin, and it represents the system, and the black sheepskin. White and the black, and then that's the bride of Christ, and then here's the judgment seat. And I was told to make these floors blood red. I'm just going to let you watch the floors for a sec. I want y'all to be able to see what this looks like. For those of y'all that didn't make it, I'll explain the system. But let's watch the floors for a minute. This is you just sit here and just watch. It's all going to change. There you go. It's beginning the whole change. There you go. Floor completely changes. And it'll turn dark red, turn blue. It'll look like so. This represents the system. There's 2 different sperm. There's one there. There's another one, and they go into this vortex. You can see how it's moving. It goes into this vortex. So I'll come back. You can see it. The 2 different sperm come into the system. It goes into this vortex. Then it comes out of vortex on the other side. Comes out that vortex, and there's the twin system. And you can see that it's a set of twins. That one has horns. That's the head with horns on the head. The other one's upside down. That's the twin system. And then this is the empty tomb. And every bit of this was directed, and I didn't know whether or not all of it was right. I went down to the alley when I got saved and I prayed. I was like, Lord, did I get this right? The first container, the Lord told me you got every panel along the way was He gave me a confirmation on every single one. But on this one, I got no confirmations till the whole thing was done, and I went down to the alley where I got saved. And this says the free gift of God is eternal life. And when you turn that sign upside down, it's the same as the other container. It says the wages of sin is death. So if you turn that sign upside down, it's a free gift of God is eternal life. But if you turn it upside down, it becomes the wages of sin is death. And so this shows the twin system on the wall over here. The two sperm coming into the system. This represents Cain and Abel. It's a cannibalistic system. And it goes into this vortex, the matrix, as it is, and then comes out over there. It goes in over there, comes out over there as a set of twins. And then over here, there's the empty tomb. That's an empty grave. And then over here is the reconciliation of the twin system. Jesus on the cross in the middle. And then the two thieves on the cross. The two thieves on the cross. And then here's the supernatural testimony. And this is a little book. It says the tomb is empty. So on that, I went down to the alley to pray one day because I'd finished this whole container project, and I had gotten no confirmations on any of the artwork, and I was very concerned because I usually always get confirmations. So I'd gone down to the alley and I prayed and I said, Lord, I did everything you asked and I haven't gotten any confirmations, and I heard you told me to come down to the alley and pray to you, which I'm here doing. But I'll be honest, guys, I did not hear his voice. I was like, and I was upset. I was like, you know what? I came down here Sunday morning. I got up early to come pray, and I'm pretty bummed out that I don't even hear your voice. So I was being kind of snarky, and I said, I'm just going to go home. So I drove down Broadway, and as I drove my truck down Broadway, it looked like a dove that had been run over in the middle of the street. And it was this book, and it was all fanned out like this in the road. And I thought it was a dove, and as I got closer to it in my truck, I saw it was this little book. And I literally went right over it in my truck. It went right under my truck, and I heard the Lord say, pick it up. Go back and pick up that book. And I said out loud, I said, if I go pick it up and there's nothing in it, I'm going to freak out. And I heard the Lord say, go pick it up now. So I made a U-turn, and I went back and I picked it up. I documented picking this thing up out of the street. You can see the tire tread marks on it. I documented picking this thing up. When I picked it up, it said, the empty tomb. Well, that's what's on the wall behind me. The Lord told me, make an empty grave, an empty tomb. He told me tomb. And so he had me do that. Then the free gift of God is eternal life. The wages of sin is death. That's also in this little book. I'll videotape it in just a minute. And then so when I opened this and I said, well, when I picked it up and I saw the empty tomb, I was like, oh my gosh. And then when I opened this thing up and I saw, I believe, Romans 6:23, I was like, oh my gosh, no way. And then the judgment seat of Christ, and the Lord told me this represents the judgment seat of Christ. And I couldn't believe it. And when I got to the very back page here, it's the judgment seat of Christ. And I'll videotape this on its own. Now, this was Sunday morning. This was on Sunday morning, about 8 a.m. There's no cars on the road really on Broadway. It was very quiet. And then Monday morning, I went to my P.O. box Monday to check my mail. And look what was in my P.O. box Monday morning. The same exact Bible tract. One of them's clean, one of them's dirty. So that means this one that's clean was already in my mail on Sunday, and this one was in the middle of the street. Wrap your brain around that. The twin system, there's just no way. So here we are in Grand Junction, and we're celebrating just this work of faith, and we're hoping and praying that the time of the end is soon. That's why I did all this, because I believe that time is very close. I'm hoping it's immediate. We never know though, because that's what faith is. You act on faith and you just trust in God for the results. But He orchestrated all this. He's the one that made it all happen. This container's at the corner of Rainbow and Casimir. Casimir means proclamation of peace, and it means to destroy the opponent's prestige in battle. That's what Casimir means. So this table, that container that has the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew is a rainbow. It's on Rainbow Drive. That's impossible. And all these little things that have happened are so miraculous. So tomorrow night we're having a little get together so people can see the container, and then Sunday morning we're doing a skydive with Lord told me to get a parachute that says V for vengeance, and it makes a big, and it's V for vengeance to the right, and upside down V for vengeance to the left, right side up, upside down, and it makes a big red X. And there's been so many confirmations, I just don't know what to say anymore, except I hope something really exciting happens. I hope it's the end. You never know though. We don't know. I'm hoping it's time to go home. That's what I'm hoping. But again, we never know. But that's what faith is. Again, you believe, and so you act on that belief. And everything I've seen here has panned out to be the most supernatural thing I could have ever imagined. Anyway, so there's a testimony, and there's everybody hanging out, doing their thing. We're just getting it all ready for the group get together for tomorrow. And I'm going to sign off because I'm exhausted. I'll videotape this other stuff tomorrow.